So why is Purple Rain a classic movie and a classic album? Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? It's Mac G back with another video, and this is Throwback Thursday. And I finally get to do the series on probably my favorite artist of all time, and that is Prince. Prince Rogers Nelson. Love Prince to death, man. So we're gonna talk about Purple Rain, the album, and Purple Rain, the movie. Since they were both came out around the same time, it was both simultaneously for each other. So we're gonna get into that. But before we do that, I wanna say, please like, comment, subscribe, /follow. Make sure you share this with everybody and anybody that you know. Help us grow this community. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're climbing that ladder slowly but surely. And I truly do appreciate you all. We are building the community so well over here. And we're just getting into everything entertainment. I finally get into something that I love even as much as I love Michael Jackson, is Prince. So also make sure June 19th I have an album coming out called The Soul of Me. I put a lot of effort, a lot of work into this album. It is a hip-hop album mixed with a little soul and R&B in there as well. And I promise you, it's a part of me to give to y'all, give y'all a little insight of my brain and how I feel and how I think. Make sure you guys are ready for that June 19th. Also, the single for that is out on all streaming platforms. It's called The Voice of the City. Also, the video is out right now on this YouTube channel. The Voice of the City official music video is out right now. So please, after you watch this video, please go over there and watch, like, comment, and make sure you share with everybody that you know. But now, let's go ahead and get into probably one of my favorite albums of all time and one of my favorite movies of all time, Purple Rain. Purple Rain, the movie, released July 27, 1984, is a semi-autobiographical musical starring Prince as the Kid, a young tormented musician in Minneapolis trying to navigate a traumatic home life, a rivalry with another musician, Morris Day, and a budding romance with a new girl in town, Apollonia. This film features Prince and his band The Revolution, and also Morris Day and the Times. The movie dives into the kid's home life, dealing with an alcoholic mother and an abusive father, and how he uses that trauma, that pain and emotions to create his music. This movie also shows how trying to make it as a musician in a competitive club scene in Minneapolis is much harder than people think and know. When you watch this movie, when you sit and watch this movie, you can really tell that this has to be somewhat truthful about Prince's life, because his portrayal of the kid, his acting of this character really has a lot of emotions and a lot of dynamics that you cannot fake just as an actor playing a character. So I definitely know that for sure, even though it's not 100% accurate and 100% about his life, I can tell that Prince really dealt with a lot of these things in his life, especially with the family dynamic with his father and his mother. It shows up on the film, and that's what makes me love the film even more. The new girl in town, Apollonia, ends up in something of a love triangle with Prince and Morris Day that, let's just say, makes things more intense but also interesting. This movie is a musical drama and romance, but please, let's not get it twisted. It has a little comedy in there, because who can forget the scene when Prince storms into the house looking for his dad and does the most Prince spin you will ever see. Prince, being the hardworking man he was shooting the film, recording the album for the movie, and rehearsing the songs and show routines all at the same time. He and The Revolution even did a few of the album/movie songs live at First Avenue Club on August 3rd, 1983. Those songs include I Would Die For You, Baby I'm a Star, and the title track Purple Rain. Prince then took those recordings to Sunset Sound Studios in Los Angeles to add overdubs, edit, and mix them. Little unknown fact, maybe known fact, midway through the shooting of the movie, director Albert Magnoli requested one more song to help anchor a montage scene about the kid's struggles. Prince, being Prince, went to the studio and recorded the epic and soulful song When Doves Cry all in one night. Just shows how much of a musical genius Prince really was. To be able to make a movie, record the album at the same time, and to be able to get requested to make another song for this project and go in the studio and record that and get it done in one night is not just musical genius of what Prince was, but it also shows the work ethic that Prince had. And it makes the movie and album so much of a journey for us to go through, because filming the movie and creating an album at the same time, you get to actually see and have a first-person view of everything. That's what makes this movie and this album such a phenomenal and such a classic moment. Not just a movie and album, but it makes it a classic moment. I don't think there's ever been a semi-autobiographical or biopic that the music was being created while the movie was being created. Most of the times when biopics or semi-autobiographical movies are made, the music is already there. You're just writing the script to go along with the music. But to do it at the same time is just, it gives it so much more, and that's why people gravitated to Purple Rain so much. So the album Purple Rain was released June 25th, 1984, which is approximately 1 month before the release of the movie, July 27th, 1984. The album was an instant success, selling 1.5 million copies his first week, which took Prince to another level of stardom. It was RIAA certified platinum in just 2 months, and 8 times platinum by November of 1984. The album spent 24 weeks consecutive at #1, while simultaneously having 2 Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles in When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy. As of today, the album has sold roughly 25 million copies, which includes 13 times platinum in the US, which is diamond. The movie didn't do too bad either. On a $7.2 million budget, the movie grossed approximately $71.2 million worldwide, with a domestic gross of $68.4 million. This is what they mean by Prince and Michael Jackson going head to head. You gotta think, Michael Jackson had the numbers, selling 1 million copies of Thriller every single week for a certain amount of time, and selling, I believe, over 33 to 35 million copies of that album, and then it being over 100 million copies sold. Like, I get that Michael Jackson had the numbers, but Prince was right there alongside this man with having this movie and this album really taking them to the next level. And you have to understand that's where the competitive part came into place, where the media tried to pin Michael Jackson and Prince against each other, is because they were both just at the apex of their careers. You know, you got to add Lionel Richie, you got to add in Phil Collins and a couple of other people like Madonna as well. But Prince and Michael Jackson were like here, combating every single time. 2 of the most dominant forces. The opening weekend, it already had made its budget back with $7.8 million across 917 theaters, where it took the #1 spot from Ghostbusters. Prince had accomplished something only 2 other artists had done up until that time. He had the #1 album in the country, he had the #1 movie in the country, and he had the #1 song in the country with When Doves Cry. The only other artists to achieve this were Elvis and the Beatles. Just picture that. Picture that. Picture that. You have the #1 movie in the country, and you took the top spot from Ghostbusters, which was a remarkable thing to do because Ghostbusters in 1984 was killing it. Then to have the #1 album, which coincides with the movie, and have the #1 single all at the same time, that just shows and proves how much Prince was loved, how much he had fanfare, and how dominant he really was. So we cannot minimize his accomplishments and minimize his achievements just because, you know, Michael Jackson was the era of the 80s, and Phil Collins was the era of the 80s, and Lionel Richie was the era of the 80s, Madonna as well. But Prince really staked claim in the 80s and really showed that he was one of those kind of artists and superstars and entertainers that could be at the top of the mountain. The movie also won multiple awards, which include Academy Award for Best Original Song Score, Academy Award for Best Original Musical. It also won an NCAA Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture, which went to Prince. The album also won some awards as well, like at the 1985 Grammys, where it won 3 awards: Best Album of Original Score Written for a Motion Picture or Television Special, Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals, and Best R&B Song. At the AMAs, it won Favorite Soul R&B Album and Favorite Pop Rock Album. What makes this movie and album a classic is the fact that the music was being created simultaneously as the movie was being created, which makes it even more epic because it feels like we are really taking a journey with these characters and developing an actual connection. This also showed how much of a musical genius Prince was and why he ended up being one of the most dominant entertainers / musicians in the 80s. When they say it was competitive between Michael Jackson and Prince, you can see why. Michael definitely eclipsed Prince numbers wise, but Prince was definitely keeping up and was no slouch. The movie Purple Rain is a testament to the times, it's a testament to who Prince was, it's a testament to his genius as far as a writer and a musician, and also he was a pretty decent actor. But I bet if the Razzies was around at that time, they probably would have gave him a Razzie Award, you know, especially for that damn spin he did. But to me, this movie is something that I have to watch on a regular basis because it gives me motivation. You know, I'm a self-motivated kind of person, but watching this movie and listening to that album, I definitely get way more motivated to, you know, pick up my guitar and play, or play my keyboard, or just write some lyrics and record. It gives me that extra little oomph. Just like how I go see the Michael biopic and it gave me that extra oomph to just say, I gotta go get it. I have to make something out of nothing, and I'm going to do it my best to, you know, give my all to this thing, you know? So Purple Rain is definitely one of those projects, albums and movies that, you know, I definitely highly recommend everybody has to see, not just once. Watch it a couple of times, listen to the album a couple of times so you can get the real understanding of who Prince was. You know, he gets a bad rap for being, you know, a prima donna or stuck-up musician that just looks down at all other musicians, that if you didn't play an instrument, play multiple instruments, then you really weren't a musician. But honestly, Prince was just, you know, ahead of his time. He was one of those artists that was innovative with style and also with music. He was doing things that a lot of people weren't doing. So Purple Rain, classic album and classic movie that I definitely highly recommend everybody see. So that's the end of the video today. I truly hope y'all appreciate it. I am so elated and happy that I finally get to talk about Prince a little bit more in depth. And again, we're going to continue going with the Throwback Thursday. I will talk about Prince a lot more. Also going to touch on Lionel Richie. I'm also going to touch on, you know, Earth, Wind & Fire, a lot of different bands and musicians that I love. And also I'll talk about some throwback moments as well, just throwing it in there. But I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, subscribe / follow. Make sure you share this video or any other video with everybody that you know and love. I truly do appreciate it. It's helping this channel to grow. We are still on that road to 1,000 subscribers, and I know we're going to get there sooner than later. And I truly do appreciate anybody that's supporting. Thank you so much. Make sure June 19th, my album Soul of Me will be dropping, so please get ready for that. Also, Voice of the City, the single, is out everywhere where you get your music from, streaming platforms everywhere, and also the music video, the official music video for Voice of the City is out right now on this channel, so please go watch that, go share that, go like that, and get in the comments. Let me know, did you know that Prince had to make When Doves Cry of the request of the director? Did you know that they were making the movie and the soundtrack at the same time? Have you seen this movie more than once? Have you not seen this movie? Are you a Prince fan or not a Prince fan? Are you a Michael fan or are you a Prince fan? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading all the comments. I answer all the comments. I do truly appreciate your engagement. But as I always say, peace, love, prosperity, and we out.